criticized him, saying, this man receives sinners. And Jesus was such an artist at using parables. And I keep going back to that. When we were in the teaching of the parables not so many years ago, I tried to take a lot of time to explain that Jesus knew how to use a parable if he wanted to hide the truth from those who were not followers of his. He would give them a parable that the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all of the others standing around could not understand. And yet if he wanted to come up with a parable that they could understand, he'd tell a different kind of parable. Most of the parables of the kingdom, he would not even let them in on what he was talking about. But here they are condemning him for receiving sinners, for having sinners in his company. And Jesus proceeded to give them 3 stories. And the 3 stories, the 3 parabolic stories, had to do with lost things. In the first one, he talked about a lost sheep. Secondly, he talked about a lost coin in the house. And thirdly, he talked about a son that was lost. But you know, when I think about the church, I think sometimes that the parable of the sheep really hits on us in a way that we need to consider for just a few minutes today, and I'm going to be finished. Verse 3, and he spake this parable unto them, saying, what man of you, having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doth not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after that which is lost until he finds it? Jesus said, now you fellows are condemning me, you scribes and you Pharisees, condemning me for being surrounded by sinners. All right, admittedly, you are the religious folk, you are not the sinner. But you got to recognize the sinner is the one sheep that got lost. And which one of you? Some of you are shepherds, some of you have sheep. Now, if you have 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, wouldn't you leave the 99 and go looking for the one that got lost? You wouldn't just write him off. You'd go looking for him. And God's people are styled as sheep. Even when we read the scripture about the judgment, it says that he's going to separate as a shepherd divides sheep from the goat. God looks upon his people as sheep. And you can always tell when the devil is getting too much influence in your life, because the characteristics of a sheep disappears and the characteristics of a goat start to grow. Y'all not gonna like me now.